Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now, it's real time.
Welcome back, everyone, for the very first time in my studio. Doesn't matter which studio it was, by the way. Thank you very much. I've got Jeremy John, Kokanee Kid, here in the studio.
How's it going?
It's really good to see you, man.
Good, yeah.
Now, I had a chance to interview you a couple of times, and Cody, one of my co-hosts from back in the day, has interviewed him several times on Outdoor GPS. Great source of information when you're talking about kokanee fishing. There's a reason why he's known as the Kokanee Kid. And he's got products and different baits that we're going to talk about here in a little bit that are available at Fisherman's and at online websites.
Yep.
Okay.
Kokanee
So
Kid
different
fishing.
baits that he produces that you can use to be successful. But again, he's really, really good at it. So pay attention. If this is a fishery that you want to get into, this is information that will get you going. If you're already into it and maybe good at it, this will make you better because you're going to get different perspective, different angles from what you're already doing. Now, first thing, I don't need to tell maybe, you're out there. You got lots of videos that people can find, YouTube. You do reports a lot from different lakes that you're fishing.
Right.
So he's very accessible, right? You just did a seminar at Fisherman's Marine this past weekend, and that's on their YouTube page.
Channel. Yep.
Okay.
Their Fisherman's Marine Outdoor YouTube channel. Yep.
So stuff that we may miss here, you're going to be able to see on that video on YouTube from on the Fisherman's page, so you can go there to check it out. But I really wanted to get you in just because this is the time of year. People are already chasing kokanee, but as you know, things are going to start ramping up as we get further along into the year.
Yep.
Again, you've been doing this for a long time. Where do you spend most of your time chasing kokanee here in Oregon? What lakes do you like to spend most of your time?
So normally early season, you know, I'm going to fish Detroit. Used to fish Green Peter, but that's a different story. I don't know if we want to get into that.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So, yeah. And then as the season progresses, you know, I might go up to Wallowa Lake. We're planning on leaving do a couple adventures, and then later in the season, July through August, I'm up at Odell.
At Odell.
Yep.
What a beautiful place, man.
Oh, it's gorgeous up there.
I've only been there and fished it once. The very first thing I remember seeing is blue water.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, this is a whole other world, let alone the scenery. It's unbelievable.
Right. Yeah.
But great accommodations there, too. They've got a resort there. They got places for people to stay.
Yep.
And I know that you get to stay there quite a bit.
I do, yep. So I stay at the east end at Odell Lake Resort. Yep, and it's a special place. I mean, we always worry about water levels and stuff, and there's that lake's really spring fed, clean water, and it doesn't fluctuate. So the water level is always the same year round. Doesn't matter, doesn't change. You got a drought.
Yeah.
Odell's the same.
And that's an advantage for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned you're talking about different lake levels, impoundment levels. Is that something that everybody needs to be paying attention to?
Yeah.
When they go out? I mean, are lakes a little bit different where maybe one fish is better when it's lower and one fish is better when it's higher? Or always is it the same on each one?
So I don't like big fluctuations. And it's the same like if you're out in a river, you don't want a bunch of water coming in.
Sure.
So like Merwin, or if you're fishing Detroit, if you got a lot of rain coming in, you get the turbidity level up, the lake raises up, 6-7 feet, usually going to kill that bite. You want that, the lake to stay more of a stable, where the fish can see everything. And I do like fishing a little later in the season when the water temperature warms up, forces those fish into a thermocline, kind of gets everything into, more into an area that you can concentrate and fish at them. So early season, their surface, they could be down at the bottom, but
that's what my
when that water temperature warms up, they get like 53 degrees and they'll be in a thermocline, and they're a lot easier to target, especially if you're running downriggers.
Now, temperature, you mentioned, it's a big deal when you're talking about kokanee, any species really in a lake. It doesn't matter what you're targeting, but kokanee in particular. You said 53 degrees. Is there a way that you like to find that temperature in the water column? Are you looking at electronics? Are you dropping a thermometer down or something similar? What do you do?
I turn my Garmin unit on and I see fish at 50 to 60 feet, and I go, that's where I'm fishing.
Okay,
so it's pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, the advancement of electronics has come a long ways. And I mean, so I just turn my screen on, and if I see fish between 50 and 60 feet, that's where I'm going to fish.
That's where you're going to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that let's just kind of talk about this in the sense that folks are new, maybe they haven't spent a lot of time targeting kokanee specifically, is trolling the most common way for people to go after them? I know jigging is an option depending on location and time of year. for folks that are watching that want to get into it, what would you say might be the first thing for them to pay attention to, or to purchase or to get into?
Yeah, so if you want to jig, springtime's when you want to jig. To Odell and both Palina Lake are real popular for jigging. What you're looking for is a lot colder water. The fish will be in big schools. They don't really want to leave those schools, and so a kokanee is hitting your tackle because you're irritating them. So, so the cold water for jigging, you know, you throw a jig down there, fish doesn't want to leave the school, they don't want it in their area, they're going to hit it.
Gotcha.
As soon as the water temperature warms up, we start getting into June and July, jigging kind of goes bye-bye, and then you're going to really have to troll them, and then they're going to, you know, you're going through the schools, they're going to follow your presentation, and they're going to hit it that way.
And trolling isn't just as simple as throwing something out there in the water and then just going from point A to point B. There's a lot of little intricacies.
There is, yes.
So I think what we'll do here is we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have our first segment of our Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week, right? I want to talk about some of the products that he brought in, some of the baits that he likes to fish when he's trolling, and you're going to see some very specific, oh, wow, that's a cool view, man. Kokanee Kid lures, different baits, different color combinations, flashers, leader lengths, and if you look over here right behind Jeremy, this is his brine, his cure for his, excuse me, I forgot, corn. Very, very important as well. Also, we'll have photo, Owen, a photo, I almost said video, a photo of how he likes to get that corn on there, which is also very important. You might not think that. You'll learn it here when we come back from this break.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive new Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.